Walking the trails. Right, Muggs? I was just noticing this recently installed fence. Light duty fence. Beautiful job. Separates the public trail from the adjacent private property. 2 rows of barbed wire. 2 rows. And a red wire on top, heavier gauge. Rust-proof coating. Imagine the machine that makes this. Constantly wrapping wire around wire. Little loops. Back in the olden days, they used to twist this wire, frill it. I like this fence. Nicely done. Light duty. Well installed. Lots of wire holding the fence to the uprights. Someone did a really good job. They put a lot of fence in here. It's probably a mile of it. I saw the fellow that owns the land one day. He was looking for his goats. His goats had gotten out of their pen, and he was looking for his goats. Mature forest on this side, in the public lands, and a mature forest on that side, in the private lands. Fence line. This will grow back one day where they went in to bring their heavy equipment in to put that fence up. Must have cost them a pretty penny, even though it's light duty, it's well done. Well done fence. I'd be curious to look at a survey map of what that fence line looks like. But it'll never happen. No time. Got my own surveys to deal with. Alright, off we go. I went to see a movie last night with Mrs. CW. I don't go to see very many movies. Not that much of a movie person. I like the small productions, the low budget ones. And I don't like renting movies. I haven't rented a movie in 10, 15 years. But we went to see War Horse. Last week we saw Sherlock Holmes, which was like Terminator for the turn of the century. Oh, a couple of squirrelies. Wrong way, guys. Mugs will get you. Anyway, so we went to see Sherlock Holmes last week. That was alright. It was high-tech, fancy production, but I could live without it. And last night we went to see War Horse. We were going to see something else. I would have gone to see Tintin, but Mrs. CW wanted to see War Horse, so we went to see it. I wanted to see it too. And it's real, what do you call that? What's that word when something is overdone, with horses riding in and out of the sunset and huge sets and Irish countryside or English countryside or Scottish countryside. And I swear some of the stone walls looked like they were painted. It looked just too real. It was very nicely done, a professionally done movie about a horse that somehow manages to plow fields and make its way through World War I and survives. And a lot of carnage, a lot of blood and gore. No nudity, no swearing. But it was a nice movie, overdone. It was a tearjerker. I get upset at the end of movies and I was crying. I watched it right to the end. Even watched the credits right to the end. It was a good movie. I'd recommend it. It was one of those fancy Hollywood-style movies with tons of actors and extras and lots of old equipment, brass-era motorcycles and trucks with solid rubber tires, artillery-style stuff. And there was a few scenes, boy, and they got you going. Read the blurb about it. War Horse. It was a good movie. Too fancy, though. I like the lower cost productions, the ones that are like under $100 million. That was a really fancy production. Walking the trails. Just had some wind blow in. A snow squall. They had some snow in the movie last night, War Horse, and it looked like dust. Someone turned the vacuum cleaner on backwards. Good movie. Overdone. Too fancy. Over the top, one might call it. But still, the scenery is nice. And all the old equipment was kind of interesting to see these old one-lunger motorcycles pull up. I think it might have been an Excelsior Henderson. No idea. Brass era. 1915 motorcycle. Alright, that's my movie review. Boy. Off into the sunset. Suet cakes. Mrs. CW and I went to a bird sanctuary a couple years ago, and they had some little birds called, I forget what they were called. Those chickadees? Black and white striped head. Can't think of the name of the bird. Check out this thermometer. What's the temperature today? 38. No Celsius. This is a good American thermometer. Conant Custom Brass. A monster thermometer. Temperature's dropping though, I feel it. What was the name of those birds? Begins with an F. F-U. Oh, he's loving that suet cake. Grab it on macro so you can't see him. I'll turn it off of macro. Give me a second. That took all of 3 seconds. Where'd that rise? Oh yeah, there's a suet cake. Alrighty, we're going into the Shelburne Farms Welcome Center and Store. I'm going to put the camera away in 2 seconds.